So I've been asked recently after my release of Wait Another Day if I use AI in my music. So I just wanted to answer that question for anyone who might be curious. I know that a lot of artists are starting to use, I think it's called suno, where you run your vocals through a processor and then it spits out like an end result. Up until now, my music career, I do not use AI for any music creation. I sing all the parts myself, so I sing the harmonies, the melodies, all the vocal layers. And then usually for a lot of my songs, I'm building the beats. So I will play the piano part, then I'll play a guitar part, and then I'll add a drum track, and I'll just kind of layer one track on top of the other. For this latest single, I did buy the track from a producer, and so he sent me all the stems to the track, which makes me believe he built that track the same way from the ground up, playing each part individually. There's 32 stems on the track that he sent me. So I thought I'd just give you guys a little tour of how I build my music and kind of break it down, so you can see the different layers. So if you go into the track here, you can see here you have your main track up at the top. And if I mute that, I didn't mute that. If you select the track, you're just going to hear so you're playing just your main vocal or your main instrumental track, which on this song I did purchase. And then you see up here at the top, you'll have your chorus main. So you can isolate your chorus main vocals. And this is how they sound isolated.
Take away the fear of yesterday, let it fly, let it fly. Make a break, we got no time to waste, so let it shine, let it shine.
So you can probably hear there is a little bit of processing that I use on a lot of my main tracks just to kind of clean it up. I think a lot of people that listen to music nowadays are expecting a very polished finish. I personally kind of like it when you don't have the auto tune and you don't have the processing going on in the background, and it's more of a raw sound to the vocals. But unfortunately, when you're releasing music nowadays, people need that absolute perfection, the almost electronic sound to the vocals. So that's a lot of the time why I'm giving my vocals a little bit of processing. But I don't necessarily think they sound bad without them. Like I'll take off all pitch correct completely, and you can hear.
Take away the fear of yesterday, let it fly, let it fly. Make a break, we got no time to waste, so let it shine, let it shine.
So it's actually quite similar with the with like the processor and without. It's just adding a very particular thing. Like I can obviously sing. I've done a lot of live shows. I perform live. I've been singing for over 20 years, and like even like no processor. So take away the fear of yesterday. Let it fly. Let it fly. So I don't need a whole lot to go on my vocals. I'm just trying to clean them up and add a few effects to them to kind of give it that polished finish. And then as far as layering, like I know even nowadays people will sing their main track, maybe sing it, maybe process it and run it through Suno. And then they have a editing track that will build each track and just create AI vocals as backgrounds. I don't do that either. Like this computer is too old to do that anyway. This is a 2011 Macintosh running GarageBand. So I'm running a pretty archaic system as is. I'm surprised I'm able to even master these tracks the way I do. It takes a lot of kind of messing around and a lot of It's just surprising, and I'm actually quite impressed on how clean the finish has come out on a couple of my songs using this programming. Um, so you can see here, that's my chorus main. If I go to my second chorus, I have a lot more going on here. So in my second chorus, I'm using the same track as my first chorus, but then I start to layer here. So you can see backing vocals, chorus heavy low.
Take away, take a break.
That's like layering to give it a little bit of texture. And then what do we have here? Chorus main echoes. So then I have each chorus echo going on.
Let it fly.
So that's just your backup echo going on through the chorus. Chorus main echo again. Chorus main backing track. So on this chorus main backing track, I back the chorus and I actually kind of make it a little more raw to give it a more raw sound, and as well as I do a split, a stereo split, so it splits it into two pieces and gives you a fuller sound for your chorus. So this is your chorus unison backing.
Take away the fear of yesterday and let it fly. Let it fly. Make a break. We got no time to waste, so let it shine. Let it shine.
So I kind of like having my backup vocals not as perfect as my main vocals, because if you have them both exactly perfect and perfectly on pitch, everything the same, then it starts to sound more like a coarse, like electronic coarse sound than like two vocals singing as like a choir sound. So I always, my backup vocals are never gonna be as perfect as the main line. The main line, I want it very polished. I want every note right to perfection. The backup vocals, I'm usually doing like one, maybe two takes just to get a decent take, have it kind of blended well, all your S's lining up properly. And then if I go on my chorus low, so here we have multiple tracks going over each other. This is your low part.
Take away the fear of yesterday and let it fly.
And so it's kind of funny because lots of time when it all blends together, it sounds really good. When you're breaking down each part, it can sound pretty funky because you're singing specifically in a certain way. The low part, I sing very nasally, take away. So it adds like a little bit of like a lower harsh resonance, which kind of adds to your rock vocal sound. And then I have my main harmony part.
Take away the fear of yesterday. Take a break. We got no time to waste.
Whoa, that's loud. Let's pause it. So then if you move forward, we have some like heavy screaming vocals. And again, to get that effect, lots of time I'm layering my vocals on top of each other. So I'm doubling up the vocals here, but when they're isolated, you can hear there's not a whole lot of effect going on.
Every little thing you say and do is gonna come right back and follow you.
So to get that, I've actually just recently started working on my fry scream. I've been playing around with it a lot. I was never able to scream that great when I was younger, and we did a lot of rock songs, but I struggled with the heavier stuff. So I've kind of played around with, you go into a higher resonance, and there's a certain note I kind of hit where I hit it the best. Every single day, I'll follow you! And I'll kind of, like right now, I'm cracking, my voice isn't warmed up, but I'll get into a bit of my head voice, a bit of my chest voice, and then you have to open everything up, and right there, and you can feel it. So usually for the scream parts, once I kind of get into it, do a couple takes, warm up my voice properly, I can really open up and let those screams, you kind of open up the back of your throat, pinch it off a little bit, and then get into your nasal. And then that's how I kind of produce my screaming sounds. So I kind of have two different, a little bit different sounding screams.
Come right back and follow you!
So that one's a little harsher. And then this one is...
Who is gonna come right back and follow you?
So that one, I have a megaphone on the one, and then this one is just straight, no effects.
Every little thing you say and do is gonna come right back and follow you!
And then for the low part, I'm just, ooh, 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 right? And I've never been a huge screamer, so maybe people don't realize I have that in me, but every single day I'll follow you.
Come right back and follow
So maybe on that part, I probably didn't even need as much fuzz as I put on it. I kind of put a lot of extra fuzz on it. I could have probably even cleaned it up and just made it more, ooh, and it probably would have sounded fine. But I don't know, that's just the way I ended up editing it. And then on the very end, on the main chorus here, coming out of the bridge, you can obviously hear a little extra auto-tune on my vocals, and I kind of did that on purpose. I just like the way it sounded. It's kind of a bit of a modern effect. You hear it a lot in music nowadays.
Take away the fear of yesterday.
So then, right on this one, same thing. I can go into it and we can listen to it with absolutely no pitch correction whatsoever. Pitch correction turned off.
Take away the fear of yesterday.
So, you know, like the pitch corrections and the little tweaks I'm using, they're not changing the vocals. It's still me. Take away the fear of yesterday. Right? So I can still hit all the notes. I'm doing the music. It's just I put a little bit of effects on my vocals just to kind of clean it up, like I said before. But you know, obviously you can see you have your main track. It's being sung.
Take away the fear of yesterday.
So I guess long short answer, no, I do not use AI for any of my music. It's all just the old-fashioned way. You know, lots of fun takes, lots of screaming in my basement, and trying to make it work. So, hope you enjoyed the video.